And I got my volume turned all the way down. We're live on the YouTube and standing by for the Instagram. I got a beard up when I said like that. It was better now. All right, we're live on both feeds.
All right, good deal. So, thanks for joining us, everybody. Um, we're gonna have a pretty interesting show tonight. This one's gonna be mainly run by Hunter. He's gonna do most of the legwork on it. I'm gonna interject from uh, moment to moment, but this is everybody as we get kicked off. We're gonna talk a little bit tonight about meal prep and how there's an option of how you can do it. We've got one way. It's not the way. He, Hunter does things a little bit differently than I do because you have to do what works for you and what makes sense. But I think he's got a pretty cool system. Him and his wife. So I think they do a good job with that. But everybody has to eat. So before we get on this, everybody has to eat as part of what food, water, shelter. Even if you don't want to be really healthy, you still got to eat if you want to live. You might as well eat the best you can. And it affects your performance. It affects your overall health, like health of your body, like blood, some of the important blood markers, like blood pressure, triglyceride levels, things like that. And then it can also, kind of affect just your ability to perform, how fit or fat you are. So, we want to be eating good things. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a cheeseburger or a piece of cheesecake from time to time. Nothing wrong with it at all. But for the most part, we want to be eating good stuff, good whole food, good fresh food. And I've seen what Hunter does before, and I think they've got a pretty good handle on the way to do that 90% of the time or better. So, all right, Hunter, take it away.
All right. So first off, the disclaimer: I am not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a physique competitor. So this is what works for me. It doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Doesn't mean it's gonna work for anybody else. This is what I do. It works for me. I like to think it's the realistic approach. It's not perfect or anything, but it's a system that I found that works for myself, my wife, um, and it's 2018. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got a million things going on. That's the reason we do this thing at 8:30 at night. But even this total war, because I get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you got kiddos to get down and stuff. Everybody's busy, and I think that's kind of the argument for meal prep. Gone are the days, unfortunately, that we all sat down, at dinner together every night. Um, Gone are the days that you could go home and your wife would have lunch waiting on you on the table. Um, you know, Now people, I part time. My wife, she's on an ambulance, so she kind of falls in that category as well. Some people be on job sites, some people might be in an office, and they just don't want to stop and break that productivity to go and take a 30 minute or an hour, whatever your lunch break would be. So that's all the more reason for meal prep. That's where you start to fail, and when it comes to nutrition, um, is when you get busy and you don't have something planned out, and all you have available to you is crap food. A good example, and there's entire podcasts, books, etc. on nutrition. And everybody, I almost think that nutrition falls in there with religion and politics. If you want to start an argument, if you want to get in a conversation with somebody for 2 or 3 hours, start talking about nutrition. What do you eat? When do you eat? Portions, yada yada yada. So first you got to figure out what works for you. I've tried a little bit of everything. I've tried paleo. I've dibble dabbled with keto. I've done. I've tried a little bit of everything. When I was in college, I was on the uh, Subway, Chick-fil-A, Buffalo Wild Wings diet. I don't recommend that one. Um, when I was right after I got out of college, I was on the Chick-fil-A barbecue diet. I also don't recommend that one. I don't know if it was so much the chicken sandwiches as much as it was the peach milkshakes, but might want to stay away from that one. It does not work unless you're getting fat. Good at that. So the biggest thing is you got to figure out what is nutrition for you. Some people, and I highly recommend going to listen to some of Joe Rogan's podcasts with Dr. Rhonda Patrick. I think she may have a podcast, or I know she has a YouTube channel. Found My Fitness. She is I don't really know what her title is. She's a guru, a nutritionist, a scientist. She's a doctor. She can get into some depths of the nutritional wormhole that will blow your mind. Way smarter than anybody you probably will ever go find. And she talks about how what you eat and what you put into your body, how quickly and how much it affects the output, your longevity, and so many other things. It's all intertwined. Gut health and everything. So without going too deep into that, keeping it kind of broad, the first thing you got to figure out what works for you. I'm 28, and it's taken me some time. I finally feel like in the last really year and a half, 2 years, I have found what works for me. There are certain foods that I just don't. My body doesn't agree with. I feel worse whenever I eat them. Really, truly, in the last couple of years, I've got that dialed in to the point that there's ebbs and flows. Nobody's perfect. But I've gotten to the point now to where when I'm on I guess you might say strict, or if I'm eating clean per se, as tasty as that is, like right now, really all of 2018 and a little bit before that, we've been really good and strict around here. Do I eat cheeseburgers? Absolutely. Once a week, probably twice a week. Do I eat a dessert? Yeah, I ate some brownies today at a conference I was at. Had some pistachio gelato last night. Had some cookies yesterday at lunch. Like, I will eat junk food and I'll fight you over it. The difference though is there's a big difference in eating a piece of junk food once a week or something like that versus making that exception every day. A lot of people say, man, I had a rough day. I need a beer, or I need a piece of cake or some ice cream, and that's their justification for it. Some people say, man, I had a great day. I need a reward for it. I need to drink a beer. I need to have a piece of cheesecake, cookies, etc. And what you don't realize is there's good days and bad days, and you're rewarding yourself on both of those. And what ends up happening is when you can rationalize it once, you've done rationalize it 3 times a day for the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and that's the way you eat. And then, fast forward down the line, you got type 2 diabetes and blah, blah, blah. Plethora of problems. I don't need to even get into that. So all that being said, it's taking me and my wife, it's taking us some time to figure out what works for us. We eat a heavy vegetable diet, and it's kind of funny to say because I'm used to be one of those people that consider myself a carnivore. I could eat breakfast with just black coffee and bacon and be fine. And I'd eat cheeseburger for lunch every day of the week. It's probably one of my heroin foods is cheeseburger. So that's the first thing. You got to find out what works for you, and that is something that takes a lot of play and a lot of experimenting. But kind of like my principle, we were talking last week about fitness standards, and I think you could even go into nutritional standards too. And that you could set some nutritional standards for yourself, some boundaries. I don't necessarily break it down into serving sizes or anything, but low carbohydrate, as little to no sugar as possible. Go for it with the meats. Your proteins, you can go for that. When it comes to your salt intake, we try to keep that as low as possible. And pretty much when it comes to vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, all that stuff is eat all you want. I think CrossFit.com, Greg Glassman has probably got one of the best descriptions of a healthy nutritional setup. And honestly, it kind of changed some of my mindset about 5 years ago, and I kind of started playing with some stuff. I was the guy that drank 3 or 4 Dr. Peppers every day. I love Taco Bell. I'd go to Taco Bell, get a Baja Blast Mountain Dew, and I'd kill it before I left, and I'd top that thing off. And I have not had a soft drink in 6 years, not a single one. I'll drink a beer with you, but I'm not drinking a soft drink. That's why you see me right now. You might think I'm drinking Mountain Dew or something, but that is seltzer water. So it's just carbonated water with a little bit of Mio flavor stuff in it. Good bit of those because you can only drink so much water. So meal prep, getting back around to it. Find out what works for you. Whatever your diet is, it doesn't really matter. Find out what works for you. If you do keto, if you do paleo, if you do the Atkins diet or Whole30 or Zone or I don't know, the watermelon diet. I don't care. Whatever you got going on, go for it. It's better than eating out of the vending machine. It's better than stopping at McDonald's. And here's why. So the first thing is, what's everybody short on? Everybody, time and money. So if you can maximize both of those areas, it's going to give you more in both of those areas. If you can be more frugal, you're going to have more money. If you can be more time efficient, you're going to have more time. So if you think about it, I'll use myself for example. From where I work at to the closest place that I can go get food is about 4 miles, 5 miles. By the time that I go out in my truck, talk to 2 people on the way out there, drive up the road, go in, order, and get back. And that's at the closest establishment. I'm running on about 20 minutes. I'm very fortunate. I get a 1 hour lunch break. A lot of places I worked before had a 30-minute lunch break. So about that. So you then used up, almost half of your lunch break right there. Just driving up, you're spending gas money, you're spending your time, you're on your phone, you're on the road, blah, blah, blah. But if you can bring your lunch, think about that. You're going to save that 20 minutes. You are going to save that money because when I go to Publix for lunch, which is the closest place to me, a Publix sub, even on sale, is $5. They're great subs, mind you. But even on sale, it's $5. If you go and get it off, you're going to spend $7, sometimes more. If you go to McDonald's, which is about 7 miles away, and about 5.5, 7 miles away from me, you're going to burn up the better part. By the time you get down there, order, wait in line, fight traffic, and get back, you're going to burn the better part of 45 minutes to an hour. And yes, you're going to save some money. You might get out of there for $5, but look at what you're eating. I'm not even going to get into McDonald's. It's crap, okay? I mean, have it your way. That might be Burger King. I don't know. But it's trash, okay? You shouldn't be eating McDonald's. I can't tell you the last time I ate McDonald's. McDonald's and Walmart, just stay the hell away from all of them. So the solution is meal prep. Some people talk about how hard it is. Some people say they can't do it. And I will be honest with you, I got a really good friend who's watching right now, John, on Instagram. He's kind of trying to get into it. He's trying to make some changes, and I definitely applaud him for that. And he's had a lot of questions. He was the one that kind of asked about this topic, and one of the reasons I want to go over it. So I've had a lot of people ask me about it because pretty much for the last about a year and a half, we've been doing meal preps for the better part. 75% of our meals. So what we do is we will pick a day that we do have time. Usually it's on an off weekend or something like that. And we will we'll come up with a menu probably a week or so out of things that we want to prep. And we'll make our normal weekly grocery run. And then on top of that, we'll go ahead and do shopping for our prep. So it usually takes, it takes a few hours. It takes, an afternoon. But at the same time, you can kind of make it an event, make it fun, and set yourself up. So I got talking about shopping. We'll go to that first. I got it written down. It's shopping. So don't go out on Sunday morning and go to the store and say that you are going to go buy all this food and do this big meal prep this afternoon, because what's going to happen, it's like anything, when you rush a purchase, you're going to spend too much money. I'm cheap. I'm not frugal. I'm cheap. I'm that guy. I'm cheap. I'm the guy that that squeezes every penny. That's me. That being said, what you do is you cut your coupons, look around. We do a lot of our shopping at like the almost like a Sam's Club type deal. We buy those 54 packs of toilet paper and the 10-gallon buckets of the spaghetti sauce and that type of stuff. Also, Also, we shop at Aldi. We actually made a run there today. They've got really good quality food at a pretty doggone good price. Some things you just got to go to the Kroger for, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you get the Kroger app, you can go through, and they've got coupons. I recommend the Kroger app if you shop at Kroger. Just download it. They've got Kroger coupons for basically it'll show all their coupons. What you can do is you can go through and just select all. It doesn't even matter if you're going to get it or not. Just go through, just pencil with it, select all, and basically it links up with your Kroger card. Well, when you check out and you put your Kroger card in, if you have selected that coupon, it automatically applies it. So do your normal shopping, just select all the coupons, and then, when you get there, you magically save $15 because you got a coupon for it. So the Kroger app saves you some big money. Aldi save you big money because you're paying 20 cents for a dozen eggs and stuff like that. So that's key is really doing your research when it comes to shopping. You can save some money. So we talked about if you talk about Publix, you're going to be spending anywhere from $8 to $10 at lunch. You talk about McDonald's, you're going to be paying $5 for lunch. But look at what you're getting, man. It's crap. It's a Diet Coke or a Dr. Pepper and a Big Mac and some fries. It's trash, man. You don't need to eat that stuff. So to get a decently healthy meal, a salad or something, you're looking at $8 at Publix, or any restaurant. Or you're looking at about $8 for lunch. If you go to McDonald's, you're gonna spend in the $5 range, but you're eating crap. Our meal preps we normally run, they go anywhere from, on the low end, we'll go about $2.50 per meal. On the higher end, we might go. We rarely touch $5. We usually run anywhere from $2 to $4. So we'll call it $3. You're in the $3 range per meal, and it's all, the best part of it is $3 per meal. It takes me no time. I'll go out there when we get done, and I'll go get one out of the freezer, and then I will put it in the fridge. And tomorrow, before I leave, Lord willing, I remember it because that happens. You take it to work, put it in a microwave. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to heat up, and you got a $3 lunch that took you 5 minutes from the time you walked to the fridge, put it in the microwave, got a fork, got it out, walked back to your desk, sat down, took your shoes off, cut your fan on, catch your breath, and eat. 5 minutes, $3. I don't know how much more you can ask for. And the best part of it all, you're not eating some junk for lunch because you had to go to the store, you had to go to a restaurant, you had to go to some fast food joint or something like that. You're not fighting traffic. And probably one of my favorite parts is it allows me to, a couple days a week, I'll run at lunch on my lunch break. And that's really kind of changed a few things for me. And it's a way to sneak in a little workout. But, when you do that, you can cut your lunch time from 20 minutes round trip to Publix, and then 15 minutes of eating, and you got 15 minutes to just kind of decompress or do other things. You got your food in front of you in 5 minutes. Say it takes you 15 minutes to eat. You got over half your lunch break still that you can catch up on a little extra work to get ahead. You can, like I do, you can go do a little quick workout, even if it's just some calisthenics or some running or something. You can, maybe go run an errand. You can take a nap, whatever you want to do. So it's a way to kind of get ahead. So going back full circle, shopping is key. Do your research, cut your coupons, study up, find the best deals, and buy the right stuff. So the other thing you need to buy, and it's kind of an investment, but even then it's not that much, is you need to buy a container. You can just go to the fridge and go to the counter and grab whatever Tupperware you got, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the catch is, one, you've only got so many pieces of Tupperware in the cabinet, and you don't want to tie all your Tupperware up because you made enough meals for the next month. So what we did is we got on Amazon, and we bought some. It's super easy, just type in meal prep containers or anything in that realm. We found these, we really like them. I just brought one in here. They have a top. This is the one we use the most. It's just a double basin. They make them in every shape and size that you can imagine. We've got some round ones. We've got some single basin ones, but this is probably the ones we use the most. It's just two basins. You got a small one for like some sides and a big one. You can fit I don't know. You can fit like a couple. You can fit like a couple chicken thighs in here and a bunch of sweet potato fries. Whatever you want to do, you can put. Like I don't know. It's up to you. But these are the ones we use the most. You can buy, I think, a 20 or 24 pack of these was like $19, and we've had these for over a year. And I mean, I went and got this one out of the cabinet. I mean, it's it's good to go. They do over time. They do take some wear and tear, but if you think about it, I probably use this thing 10 times. And that's getting thrown in the back seat and shoes thrown on top of it, and then a week later finding its way to the dishwasher and all that stuff. Because let's be honest, the hardest part of meal prep is bringing your freaking dishes home. So there you go. Get on Amazon, meal prep containers. It's not necessarily like a to-go container. It's a little bit heavier, but they're worth every penny because two things. You see these things laying around the house, you know that you have got to do some meal prep because that's what you bought them for. You buy them, you're going to use them. The other part too, they hold up so you can do meal prep down the road. So look them up on Amazon. They got round ones, they got square ones, they probably got a triangle one. I mean, they got 5 basin, 2 basin, single basin, bowls, whatever you want, it's there. That's what we use. The second part is I talked about earlier about finding out what works for you nutritionally. Us, low carb, no sugar, as much real food, stuff that had a pulse or stuff that came from the ground, as much real food as we can eat. Try not to eat crap. Try not to eat out of a bag. Try not to eat pasta and bread, and just try to stay away from that stuff. What's the old saying? If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. Kind of the same concept. God, I've ate everything that I'm sitting here talking bad about. I've ate that in the last 48 hours. So talking about making a menu. So these are some of our menus, and we keep all of them. So we keep all of them so that we can go back and cross some of them out and put a star beside some of them. And you can see these are just a few of the ones that we've done. Carolina is the guru, my wife. And if anybody wants to see this stuff, John, I know I've offered you and Angela some of this stuff. If anyone wants to see any of this, let me know. I'll take pictures of it and send you. Kind of got some recipes and stuff in here too. I'll just go over some of the ones that we've done. We'll do 2 chicken thighs. We'll go first off. Let me throw a disclaimer. We single-handedly support a sweet potato farm somewhere in North Carolina because there is no way any 2-person household goes through as many sweet potatoes as ours does. Every time we go through the line at Aldi, people look at us like we're insane. We'll buy 10, 12 pounds of sweet potatoes at a time. So, in a meal prep container, we'll do like 2 chicken thighs, sweet potato disc, green beans. Exactly what it sounds like. We eat a lot of, on top of sweet potatoes, we eat a lot of Mexican food. It's enough for us to eat Mexican food 2 or 3 times a week here. And I think that's one of the best parts of being an adult is you can eat as much Mexican food as you want to. John called me yesterday. What was I doing, John? I was eating some freaking Mexican food. And the night before that, guess what we had for dinner? Mexican food. And it's only Wednesday. So anyway, good Mexican food. So we do a lot of, like I said, we do a lot of Mexican food. We do one of our favorite things to make is burrito bowls. What we'll do is we'll get sweet potatoes, cut them off. We'll put quinoa in there, some Mexican rice, or chicken tenderloins or thighs. We make a lot of burrito bowls, some Mexican rice, some ground deer meat, black beans, corn, and then get just a handful of kale. When everything's done, a handful of kale, throw it on top of it, freeze it. When you microwave it, it steams the kale out, and you're good. Um, More taco bowls. We do a lot of Reuben wraps. We really like Reubens. It's exactly what it sounds like. You take a tortilla, corned beef, sauerkraut, with sweet potato fries. We do some chicken thighs with sweet potato wedges. I haven't went over that one before. Taco bowls, Reuben wraps. We'll do some sweet potato nachos with ground deer sausage on top of it. So basically, sweet potato disc, use that instead of chips. Ground deer meat, some onions, peppers, mushrooms, corn, black beans, spoonful of salsa, handful of kale. Taco bowls, some more tacos. We'll do a pork loin. We also, a lot of times, we'll get a Boston butt, which I think is one of the best. It's one of the easiest things in the world to smoke. But two, prime example. Right now, we went to Kroger this evening. At Kroger, down here at least, they got Boston butts and stuff for 99 cents a pound. That's about as cheap as you're ever going to find them. 99 cents a pound. They're like maybe 8 or 9 pounds each. So you're coming out like 8 or 9 bucks, and you're getting 8 pounds of, an 8-pound butt, which is probably about 6.5, 7 pounds of meat when you get all said and done with it. That's a lot of meat. You can do a lot of other stuff with it. You can do barbecue. I think that Boston butts make the best tacos in the world. So you got that option. I mean, you can do anything with it. You can put it in a salad, you name it. So that's one way. If you go buy an 8-pound Boston butt right now, it's going to cost you $8. You could probably make, I don't even know, man, probably 12 to 16 meals out of it, depending on serving sizes. Or serving sizes, that's something you're going to have to figure out. That's something different for everybody. Me and Carolina figured out recently that I kind of pick at lunch. I don't use lunch as a meal. It's just kind of to tide me over. Whereas she likes to eat a big lunch. That being said, at dinner, I eat a bigger dinner than she does. She usually will eat just a little bit at dinner and she's good. Whereas me, dinner's my big meal of the day. That's my feast. I've been waiting on it all day. And then lunch is just kind of just something to get me through. So serving sizes, you got to figure that one out. We kind of shoot in the middle. It's usually just a little bit short for me, but it's usually just a spoonful extra for her. So we'll usually do something like that. Those are just a few ideas. One of the best parts about it too is that when you cook, we'll usually do somewhere around 20. We'll usually do 20 to 25 meals total. So when we do a meal prep, we'll come out with about 20 to 25 different lunches. The best part, though, is if you look at that, that's, you can say, just ballpark it, that's enough for one person for 1 month. Well, there's 2 of us eating on it, and that's 2 people for half a month, right? Well, not really, because when you cook dinner, probably half of the time, just ballparking, half the time, you have enough leftovers so that you can take some for lunch the next day. Every once in a while, if you cook something big over the weekend, if you were to smoke a Boston butt or do something like that, you can kind of supplement what you've been using before you get to your next big meal prep. And honestly, going full circle, the whole thing takes a little bit of planning, but it's going to save you a lot of money down the road. And the best part is when being on the fire department and stuff like that, man, I cannot tell you how many times I'll get off work at 5:30. You're driving home, you get banged out with something, you're not getting home until 8 o'clock at night, 8:30, 9 o'clock, or whatever. When you get home at 9 o'clock and you just go open the fridge or a freezer and all that's in there is pizza or something like that, it's really easy to throw it in there. The reality of things are a lot of people are living that day to day. They're getting home 45 minutes before they need to be going to bed. They're eating just whatever they can find, or they're just stopping somewhere so they don't have to cook. So by having these freezer meals, as we call them, it allows us to take some of the X factor out of, man, I'm tired, I don't feel like cooking, I ain't got no groceries, whatever. I'm just going to grab something and throw it in the microwave and just eat a whole bag of pizza rolls. It allows you to kind of start a program, whatever that program is, and Honestly, it's really fun because we do it together. We cook together whenever we do it. So we're talking about it. We're coming up with ideas for the next time and stuff like that. It's been a lot of trial and error. Some of the first bowls that we bought, put them in a microwave, and they just closed up on us. We have found that quinoa does not do well at all unless you steam it. If you just boil it like you would maybe rice or something, if it's a really wet, if it's a really moist quinoa, it does not freeze well. It just turns to like gum or something. I don't know. It turns mushy. You gotta play with it. You gotta figure out you gotta figure out what fits inside of your, nutritional needs, your diet. But two, you gotta figure out what things do and do not freeze well. There's a lot of stuff on the internet about that. Pretty much everything's been done before at this point. If you do your research with meal prep, you can find some of that stuff. But, kind of wrapping up, it's really helped us. It's changed a lot for us because lunches are no longer oh crap, what are we doing for lunch? Probably one day a week or maybe once every other week, I will eat lunch out somewhere. We'll have vendors that'll take us to lunch, or I might go do a planning session with someone. But most of the days, Monday, Wednesday, I'm eating at my desk, and then Tuesday, Thursday, I'll go run and come back in and just scarf something down from whatever time I got left over. And then Friday's usually when I get some barbecue, because I like barbecue. But meal prep, when it comes to specific questions, everybody's gonna have their thing. John, I'll talk to you. If you got specific questions, hit me with them. If anybody ever in the neighborhood and wants to do a meal prep together, let me know. We can do it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a wormhole to go down. I feel like I've covered some topics. I think you just put priority on A, figuring out what you want and need nutritionally. B, make that commitment. Buy you some good Tupperware because otherwise you're going to burn out all your other stuff. And you're not going to make that full commitment because you don't want to use all your Tupperware for meal prep stuff. The next one is just make sure you're shopping around, you plan in advance. You've got to get a meal plan. And don't do like so many people do where they will just cook. What are you meal prepping? I got some broccoli and some Brussels sprouts and some chicken breast. Don't do that because you're not going to stick to it. It's got to be stuff you like. So many people will meal prep, and it's, like I said, it's dry chicken breast and some broccoli. I used to do that. I'd go to Publix and buy a big old thing of chicken breast and a massive bag of broccoli or some Brussels sprouts, or just buy a bunch of rice. And like every day for the entire week, I was eating freaking dry chicken and some Brussels sprouts or some rice. Like by Thursday, I would fight you over anything other than that. So it's got to be stuff you like. It's got to be stuff you normally eat. Don't go and try to change the world. Don't go think that just for lunch I'm going to be super strict. Figure out stuff you normally eat and do that. What you'll find is if you're putting chicken nuggets and some, I don't know, some freaking, if your lunchbox looks like a kindergartner where you're eating chicken nuggets and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a honey bun or some little Debbie cake rolls for lunch every day, and that's what you're normally eating, you might need to change what you're normally eating so that your lunchtime diet, your prep meals reflect that. Get everything squared away before you start trying to change the world at lunch. Just because it's got to make sense. You can't go into it eating, like if you start making me vegan lunches every day, I wouldn't stick with it. But if it's stuff that I'm normally eating for dinner, or stuff that really works for my body, really works for my diet, I'm going to stick with that program. So, I don't know. Like I said, John, I know you just said you want to see what Paul says. I'm ready to hear what Paul says too. Everybody's probably tired of me yapping. I don't even know how long it's been.
Shut up, Hunter.
35 minutes. Holy crap. So, go. All you.
All right. No, I think it's great. I think that I definitely think y'all have a great plan. And just before I jump into while you're taking big chugs of the drink there, was it something that was born out of necessity with y'all's work schedules, or is it something y'all did before? Was it kind of something you needed because of your work schedule? Is that what brought that? Or was it
Well,
something
yeah,
else?
it kind of was. It kind of was because you know she's busy, I'm busy, and her being on the ambulance, she's 99% of the time she's eating in an ambulance. Um, you could think of it like eating in your car kind of thing, and it's kind of difficult to warm things up sometimes. So she's got some gas stations that she's a favorite at. She'll go hit the microwave or something like that, or some fire stations. But it's one of those things where you know if you're out and about, it's really easy just to pull in Chick-fil-A. And then tomorrow you're in a Subway. Tomorrow you're going to go to Five Guys. And then if you look back, man, you've done spent $50 Monday through Friday buying lunch. And I was doing the same thing. I was maybe ever so slightly better just because I have a desk and kind of a home base. I'd go to Publix usually, and I'd get whatever sub they had on sale. So it ended up being about $3 for that. But then I'd go get like a Dr Pepper and a bag of chips or something too. So I was usually spending around $4 for lunch. And it's got to be one of those things where we were just kind of looking. I guess it got to be out of necessity because we were talking about being cheap. We just got to look at how much money we were spending on lunch. Then, like I said, it's kind of a full circle thing where one, you're spending so much money on it, but two, you're eating crap too. Because I don't really eat bread. I mean, I'm not a total like carbs or the devil, but I don't eat a lot of bread. But I got looking at A, how much money we're spending, but B, I was eating like crap at lunch. So I got thinking, we should do something. And I'd seen some of these videos about meal prep, but meal prep was dry chicken and broccoli. I didn't really want to do that. So that's when we just kind of like, well, what if we just do stuff that we normally are eating for dinner and stuff like that, and just kind of pack these things in there.
No, I think you guys got a good system there on having some foods that are good for you, but not they're not plain. So I'm just gonna throw some adders in there. Not really. I think that you've covered everything on the big meal prep, but so the first one I want to cover is like, so we're talking about part of it's meal prep and meal planning, but sometimes stuff happens, right? Like you said, you forget your Tupperware, and I'm very lucky that my wife hasn't killed me because I've got Tupperware that's probably gone somewhere into the ether, or it looks terrible. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've left some stuff out there before, and it took some Ajax and some prayers to bring it back. Yeah, yeah. So when I'm talking about meal planning, one thing you can do that's a pretty good idea is have some contingency plans. So let's say that so most of us have a desk or at least some place where we can sit down and do work, just part of our stuff. Um, so you can go and get some things like I'm not a big fan of like muscle milks much anymore, but like the Premier Protein, just little pre-packaged thing. I'm not saying that should be a staple, but it's a better than an alternative. Like, you could take those like meal replacement shake. They don't have to be refrigerated. Put them in a dish drawer. Put 3 or 4 in there. And like, if you get caught off guard, if you forgot your lunch or something happened, you can jam one of those things down for your lunch that day. That's really good. If you had things like those in rice cake, probably could make it through. Same way it goes in your vehicle. Maybe put 1 or 2 in your vehicle, and if you get caught in that's some contingency planning, more of like a spare tire type, thinking about it like that. Also, another thing is I find myself traveling a lot, so mainly it's related to work. So I'm gone during the day, so invest in you don't need to buy a Yeti. I mean, that's a whole other conversation for another day, but get a little small cooler and a little freezer drop-ins that you can get, and invest in that, because that way when you get on the road, because it's really tempting to eat some junk when you're out traveling. Um, Invest in that little cooler. I know it's hard sometimes when, especially when you travel like that. It's not so bad when you're by yourself, but like, if you go out and you have to meet up with someone and they want to go grab lunch for the day, it's hard not to. I'm not saying don't do that stuff, because there's some camaraderie, or it depends on what your job, what you're trying to do. Maybe that's something that you need to do. That's more about making healthy food choices, but have some contingency plans in place. Another good one is from where you work or close to where you work. I would pick maybe 2 or 3 places maybe, and have like maybe like 3 go-to meals that like if you had to go out and get something, it's not gonna like ruin you. So like Hunter says there's a Publix right there close to him. Pub subs are pretty awesome, by the way. I'm not knocking on pub
No,
subs.
they're good, man. No, they're out of
really
sight.
good. You can do a lot worse, but so like, but contingency planning is like if there's a place that's got like a good garden salad. I mean, if you go and get a good salad that's got like and do like an oil and vinegar dressing, you can do a lot worse, right? I mean, like a vinaigrette or something. And I'm not trying to get all you know calorie counting on you or anything like that, but I'm saying.
Let me interrupt you, but kind of along the exact same lines. And then I think if I can win this, I think you can win anywhere. It's kind of exactly what you're saying. They just go to Dairy Queen near us about a year ago. Dairy Queen, okay. They know that when I walk in there, that I'm the guy that wants the chicken sandwich without the bread, and I want rather than fries, I want the kids. They've got like a kids like salad cup kind of thing, but I've done it enough times, and I've talked to them. Like, yeah, man, I'm just on a really strict diet. I don't eat bread. I can't eat stuff like that. Blah 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 blah. And the manager's heard me say this a couple times. I've talked to him that I can go in there and get the chicken sandwich without the bread. Blah blah blah. They will give me the chicken sandwich without the bread. So it's like a chicken, like a grilled chicken fillet, with lettuce, tomato, and onion. And they'll give me the kids' little salad cup. Better yet, they'll give it to me in a box, so I can just dump it all in there. So it's like a chicken salad kind of thing. And because I've pestered them enough, they'll give me the large cup of water. Make those relationships. Get those 2 or 3 restaurants, especially if there's a mom. I think you can do it at Dairy Queen, you can do it anywhere. But find you a couple restaurants, like you said, especially if it's a local joint, and just talk to them like, hey, you got like a lettuce wrap for that burger right in the bread, that kind of thing. And that way, if you got to go somewhere, or if that salesman pops up, like happens to us, hey, I'm going to buy y'all lunch. Where do you want to go? Let's go to Cafe 44. Oh, okay, that's a great place. They got good burger and fries. Yeah, they do. Man, your burger looks different. Yeah, I know. That girl back there, I've talked to her a few times about how I eat and how I don't want to eat, bread. I don't want fries. That's the reason she gave me this quinoa and wheat berry salad and a massive piece of lettuce wrapped up my burger. That kind of exactly what you're saying. Do some recon.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. And like I said, have a few contingencies. Now, you don't want to be using those all the time. Like if you're like doing that all the time, and you're drinking these premier proteins at lunch, everything or whatever, muscle milks, whatever they are, then you're not executing like you need to. But those are just, I mean, life happens, right? Sometimes the wheels fall off, and you have to do what you need to. Another one is that it's probably a lot different for those of you that are eating with families, right? Because now you've got, especially if you've got younger kids, you got some kids that are piggy eaters, right? So you got different things going on. I know that it's tougher because you may have to make 2 meals, or you're having. I mean, it's just. I mean, anybody's got kids, like you know how it is, right? Don't let that deter you. I mean, stay the course. They're gonna see what you eat. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with letting them kind of figure out what they want over time. I'm not saying you should really. That's a whole like parenting thing that's beyond this. Like don't, but it's tougher when you're cooking as a family. The more people you got involved, the harder it is. This is the way it is. If you had a family of 8, that's going to be a lot tougher to try to feed everybody than it is a family of 4. That's just logistics, right? So, thing is, it's about concessions and compromise. I know that so my wife, she cooks a meal every day, and it's awesome. I don't have to deal with it. I don't want to say every day, about 5 days a week. But usually we eat out on the weekends. But it's really good because she cooks it. She has all the meal prep done, or I say meal prep. She cooks every afternoon. We get out and eat, and she cooks enough for me to be able to take her for leftovers next day. So our system is a little bit different than Hunter's because we're not cooking or she's not cooking once a day for the week. She's cooking every single day, but she has the availability because she's here. So you have to do it like, kind of like one of the things, flexible diet, whatever. You have to do what works for you. But that's why it's like Hunter said. Sometimes it's good because there's certain meals that I love, but like after I've eaten it, like the night before, the next day at lunch, I don't really want it. It's not a good meal. It's just like you're kind of burnt out. It's kind of nice to be able to take something else, just to break that palate up. Especially if it was like something real spicy or something like that, and you kind of want something a little more bland, whatever it may be. They have contingency plans on that. I also think, and this kind of goes away from the meal prep a little bit, but don't take anything to extreme. Like, so if you're if you're just getting into this, like, don't be like, oh man, I'm gonna go on this 1,000 calorie per day deficit, and we're gonna meal plan, and I'm gonna eat so for lunch I'm gonna have a single grape, and for dinner I'm gonna lick an almond, and then my dessert is gonna be 1 grain of sugar. Like, like that's not sustainable. I mean, it's not gonna work for you. I will say though that so like the further you are away from where you want to be, the less room you have to wiggle. So you're going to have to be a lot more, like Hunter was talking about today. He went out and he had some stuff he didn't, like he ate some brownies and some stuff like that. There's two things that determine how much you can, just for cheat on your health stuff is A, how long you've been sticking to the good diet, and B, how far away you are from where you want to be. If the time you've been on the good diet is short and you're really far away from where you want to be, you don't have a lot of wiggle room. Or when I say diet, the amount of time you've been eating whole, real foods with low glycemic indexes and things like that. So, don't take anything to extreme though, and say, oh, well, I'm gonna reduce the amount of calories I eat per day by 1,000, and ease your way into it.
That's kind of like it's kind of like what I said earlier. It's like is go ahead and prep the foods you're eating now. And if you start realizing, and you're probably gonna realize it pretty quick that when you're prepping the foods that you're eating now, those foods aren't very healthy. Like, everybody likes to put a picture on Facebook or Instagram after they did this big massive prep, and you look like the healthiest person in the world, and all this stuff, and you're in white. But nobody's putting pictures of meal prep with pizza pockets and some honey buns and stuff in a container. That's what your prep meals look like. Probably going in the wrong path. And you'll end up cleaning yourself up and kind of balancing that whole thing out. So it's kind of like exactly what you said. It's like, don't try to go crazy and tomorrow we're starting it. We're going to do this thing, because you're not going to stick to it. That's why I say do things that you're already eating. I think that's been the biggest success, or the biggest key to success for us, is not trying to go crazy and like you said, lick an almond for lunch, and I'm going to drink half a bottle of water and smell a peach for dinner. You got to be realistic about it, because if you don't like the food, if you don't like the portions, if you don't like it, you're not going to stick with it. And that's the problem, man, with so many people and all the whole meal prep and nutrition and fitness thing is if you don't like it and you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. And honestly, life is too short to do something that makes you miserable and makes you want to just go jump off a cliff.
And before you say this right now, and I want to tell people that don't do this, so I don't, this may be a year from now. I know John's on here right now, but there may be other people watching this a year from now or 10 years from now, whatever. But I just wanted to say this, if for what Hunter just said, he said, don't do stuff that makes you feel miserable. All right, hang on before you go on any further. You may think that the first week or two or whatever you meal prep, that you're like, this is the worst thing ever. I feel like dying. You're like, I didn't pack. There's not enough food in this stupid little Tupperware. I want a cheeseburger. I want my life back. That's what you're gonna think. Like, this is terrible. But I'm guaranteed you do it for a year, and you tell me that you don't feel better. Period. You won't feel miserable. I promise. Like, short term versus long term. So, all right, that's all.
No, that's
I want to
totally
make sure.
valid. No. That's totally valid. If it's a worthy, misery, then yes, you should totally live that life.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, if it's a worthy misery, go on ahead and just enjoy it, embrace the suck. But you know, don't. You know what I mean there. I think you hit the nail on the head. How about this? I'll tell you what I ate today. So today I had a conference because this is a little victory here. So today I had a conference that I went to. Was at the golf course outside of Atlanta. Good, nice setup, good conference, blah blah blah. So typical country club lunch. I'm telling you, if you go to a golf club or a country club today conference, 90% chance you're gonna eat this. They bring a big basket out with white bread and wheat bread. They bring another massive tray of cold cuts like turkey ham, possum, I don't know. And then they're gonna bring a thing out with a couple different types of cheeses. Big bowl of salad mix, potato salad, coleslaw, cookies, and brownies. I've ate that 100 times. Used to, I'd make me two big old nasty sandwiches with about a gallon of mayonnaise on it, and I'd go back and just try to not to fall asleep the rest of the seminar. Today, what I did, I totally traffic jammed the entire line, and I was that guy because I went down there where the salad was, and I come back and got back in line, and I heaped a big pile of salad on my plate. When I got to the cold cuts, I got me a little bit of turkey and a little bit of ham and put on top of there, and like one slice of cheese. And then I got a brownie. And everybody was kind of joking on who, like, oh, look at this guy eating a salad, but he still got a brownie. I said, that's the reason I'm eating salad. But, small victories like that, rather than getting the sandwich, make that thing into a salad or something like that. And, that kind of goes back to what you're saying about contingencies is yesterday I had a similar lunch meeting at a different golf course in Atlanta, 2 days in Atlanta in a row. I'll see you next year, Atlanta. I'm done with you. Yesterday it was a very similar lunch. This one though, it was BLTs it was thick cut bacon and no bread. I took the bread off, just ate it. So I guess it was still a BLT. Then they had this other one that was on this. It was almost like a pita bread, but it had avocado. It was a good sandwich. If you got to eat some carbs, because carbs aren't going to kill you. You just don't want to eat a freaking baguette every day. It had a lot of good fat, some meat. It was good. It was a good sandwich. So that's what I had yesterday, and I had one cookie. But I did work out yesterday when I got home. It was raining, and we get groceries and this, so I got my push-ups in this morning, but I didn't really work out today. I'm gonna try to so like I said, you got to find a way to kind of figure something out in any situation that you're in. Going to a corporate dinner or luncheon or out to eat is not really an excuse. You can still find something. And you know what? And I'll throw this in there too. And Jocko is kind of who I think said this first. And it's kind of true. I've done this to myself before. I mainly started doing this when I was getting ready to go up because probably the scariest part to me is the fact that we don't get to stop and like have 30 minutes to sit down and eat. Like that's probably my most nerve wracking part. I'm the dude off the Snickers commercial. You're not yourself when you're hungry. That's like the thing I'm most scared about is eating. Not really. I started doing some fasting because I've gone like everybody skipped lunch before or not eat breakfast or something like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, if you just truly got no good options out there, just don't eat. You can go like 2 weeks or something without food, and going all day is not going to kill you. Usually once a week or every other week, something like that, I'll try to go where I'll eat dinner, and I won't eat anything until dinner the next day. So usually it'll be like a 24-hour fast, give or take. Or I'll like eat dinner, and I'll get up in the morning and have like a cup of coffee and like I don't know, a single rice cake, and then I won't eat anything until dinner. It kind of does clear your mind a little bit. You feel pretty good. And I'll tell you what, man, you can be having some dry chicken for dinner. When you hadn't ate anything since dinner last night, that dry chicken tastes pretty doggone good too. So not eating is always an option.
I agree. So before we're going to get ready to wrap this up, I think John, you're following along. If you got any other questions, jot those in real quick. But as we're moving towards wrapping this up, kind of recap what Hunter said. Come up with a plan. Kind of make your menu, ease into it. Don't jump off in the deep end. I think that's a really good point you made about go ahead and prep the food you're already eating now. Don't create anything new from scratch. Just try to. So does that mean you can take 2 slices of Domino's pizza and 2 Coors Lights and put them in a gallon Ziploc bag, and that's your meal prep? Is that how that works?
If it's got kale in it, it counts as meal prep. If it doesn't have spinach or kale, it doesn't count as meal prep.
Okay, so I put a little kale on the bottom, 2 slices of Papa John's.
Kale's got to be in between the pizza slices.
Oh, you make it sandwich. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And then you dip it in ranch like when you're in high school.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So that's meal prep, guys. That's meal prep 101 right there. Just 2 pieces of pizza, kale, 2 beers, and a gallon Ziploc bag. Meal prep. All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions, we're gonna call it for tonight. But thanks everybody for following along, and everybody be good to each other.
That's it. All right, we're out.
Out.